Hello, I'm PS3 and welcome back to the video. Today I'm here in my tiny huge room, or my huge tiny room, to talk about Minecraft mobs, because Jeb recently confirmed that when he adds new mobs to the game, he wants to make sure that they're actually going to start being useful, because he specifically mentioned the llama and the parrot as not necessarily being quite as useful as some of the existing mobs. This caused a lot of outrage, but it made me wonder which of the mobs in Minecraft are the most useful and which ones are the least useful. So that's what we're going through in today's video. I ranked every single non-hostile Minecraft mob, this is the big list in case you're curious, that do exist in the game, from least useful to most useful, so that you can know about every single Minecraft mob and where it lies in the hierarchy. Hopefully you do all enjoy the video, like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let's know you do like these sorts of videos. It's been a while since I did like a ranked thing, like a top 10 or a top 5, and here is a top 17, if you will, of every single Minecraft mob. So one more thing before we begin, I want you to actually leave a comment down below with what you think the most useful mob and the least useful mob are, because I want to compare those to what actually ends up turning out, and also if you end up being correct, then that means you get something cool going on, right? So yeah, with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we, with the 17th most useful mob, or to put it in other words, the least useful mob in the game. And I think there's no disagreement on this whatsoever, right? Because it has to be the bat. The bat is just by far the least useful mob in the game, and to prove that, let me spawn one in right now and show you what happens. So I spawn in the bat, and then the bat flies away. Oh, no, it flies towards me, and then it flies away. So, yeah, what use does the bat have in the game? Well, it gives you no XP when it's killed. It gives you no drops when it's killed. It's found in caves during very inconsistent circumstances. So, finding one is, like, not a fun experience, not a consistent experience. It just happens sometimes. They have very random, erratic behavior, like this bat's flying around me for some reason, even though it's light. Basically, bats don't make any sense. They don't really have consistent conditions. They don't really do anything for you. They don't do anything against you. They just kind of exist in the game. In fact, the fact that they're even a friendly mob at all, the fact that they're not a hostile mob, kind of shows that, like, yeah, bats could have been a scary thing, but instead they just exist in the game. And honestly, most people forget about them, and if they remove bats from the game tomorrow, I think it would take people like ages to notice. So what's the second least useful mob? One that you would notice maybe somewhat fast. Well, it's going to have to be the polar bear. So the polar bear, again, looks like this. Probably seen one before. It's a pretty huge mob that is technically friendly. I mean, it's friendly if it's either a baby or it's just a big one, but if you find a big one with the babies, then you're going to run into some issues because they'll attack you. And in fact, even if you technically attack this one, he'll attack you right now. As you can see, he's going to do his huge bear attack, and it's kind of interesting. So yeah, what's the deal with the bear then? So first of all, oh geez, he actually might kill me here. So the interesting thing about the bear is he has no particularly unique drops. He'll drop fish sometimes, and that's kind of nice. But otherwise, you don't ever go to the bear because you want its drops. You don't ever go to the bears because you want anything from them. They're just like a cute distraction you find in the polar biome. So what's even worse than just a cute distraction? Well, what's slightly better than a cute distraction, I should say? What's number 15th most useful mob? But it has to be the parrot, because the parrot technically has a use. I mean, they're cute, and they have a bunch of different tiny behaviors in the game, which you actually might want from them. So for instance, they dance in their jukeboxes, and you can tame them technically, and they'll jump on your shoulders, for instance. But realistically, why do you want any of that? Well, you don't really. They don't do anything. They get chased by chickens, and then they do cute things. But I mean, is having a mob which just does cute things that useful? I wouldn't necessarily say so. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but that's why it's the 15th most useful mob of the game, because it just kind of exists in one place. So yeah, let's talk about the 14th most useful mob now, which is going to involve, actually let's just spawn it here. I was going to say let's find some water, but no, let's spawn the squid on the table right here, because the squid is the 14th most useful mob in the game. As you can see, it just lays there. So in water, it's even more annoying. I mean, you spawn them in, or they spawn in naturally, and then they just exist. They swim in very bizarre ways. They don't look natural. Honestly, the fact that they're in the game is one of these weird quirks of Minecraft, right? So yeah, that's the problem with the squid, in my opinion. It just looks weird, it behaves weird, and oh, it chokes out of water. Bet you didn't know that. So yeah, also if you punch it, so you probably don't know that, it'll make a big ink squirt. But realistically, the only reason squid exists is because you need to kill them to get ink sacs, which you need to dye stuff. But if they didn't have ink sacs in them, you would forget about squid just as easily as you've got about bats. They're on that level of uselessness. However, what isn't quite that level of uselessness is actually going to be the rabbit, which is number 13 here. So I know, again, it seems like I'm just being mean to some mobs like this. So the rabbit spawn egg is this one right here. Seems like I'm being mean to them right here, but the truth is rabbits, they're scared of you, so you barely see them. They're very small, so you barely see them on that front. You can't ever tame them. All you can do is try and chase them and kill them. So I'll admit the chase to kill them is kind of fun, but you feel like a monster afterwards, and all you get is rabbit leather, one of the most forgettable items in the game. Honestly, did you know that you can use it to make leather? Most people probably didn't. And sometimes you get rabbit feet, which you need for the, the potion of leaping, but how often do you use that? Not very often, and that's why rabbits are something, honestly, every now and then I remember they exist, and I'm like, ah, yeah, that's nice. So yeah, now we're starting to get on the slightly more useful side of the list. We're going to move on to the ocelot. So obviously you can imagine I'm a guy who likes the ocelot a bit, but it's still not that useful. Like, I mean, it runs away from you unless you tame it. If I'd kept the fish, that'd be useful, but it runs away from you unless you tame it. So, I mean, if you kill a polar bear, you could get the fish to tame it. But then once you've tamed it, it will only exist as a pet in the game, which is fine, it's cute, whatever, and it exists to scare off creepers. So a fun fact you probably aren't aware of is that creepers are very scared of ocelots, as you can see. If the ocelot goes near it, he actually runs away from that. So if I stand behind the ocelot, as you can see, he chases him away. So again, that's kind of a useful behavior, but how often does that really come up? Is he going to chase him off the edge there? I think he might. So how often does that really come up? Probably not very often, right? It's not something you're thinking about all the time, and realistically, they exist as a pet, and maybe sometimes chase off creepers, which again, I love the creeper thing, and that's why we're getting onto the useful side of the list, but it's not quite as useful. So let's fly down here, actually, onto the bed, and talk about the next most useful one, which is going to be the llama. So I know, this is heresy, IBX, Toycat, the real one, gonna, trash talk llamas in some way. Well, sadly, I actually am. So, yeah, why am I going to trash talk llamas? Well, they exist in the game, I'll give them that, and they'll spit at you, and they'll keep dogs away, and keeping dogs away is so useful for sheep farms. Oh, he's going to walk off the edge, it seems. But the truth is beyond that, what does the llama do? Well, not anything. You can technically make caravans off it, and that's useful, but I've never really seen people do that, and although it is a real thing in the game, like, again, tying caravans together, the fact that it's not used so often makes me think that llamas need a real buff. Again, they should do that sometimes. So yeah, buff llamas, make them so they do something a bit better. Maybe they organize themselves, maybe they could have more storage space, because they have less storage space than a donkey, and you can't even pilot them, you can't even walk a llama, because it's not that kind of thing. Speaking of donkeys, by the way, that's our next mob on the list. So this is the donkey, the arguably, the next most useful mob here, where it's actually got some use. So you can put a chest on a donkey, that's really valuable, and then you can ride around the chest. But the truth is, donkeys are absurdly slow. If you ever look at them, they're just really, really slow like that, and they're just not that great. The slightly faster version of the donkey is the mule, which you get from breeding a horse and a donkey together. Fun fact. And yeah, the donkey, the mule, the only reason it's better is because it runs very slightly faster, but even then not much faster. It can still contain the chest, and it has slightly different colors. So all donkeys are this exact same brown, whereas mules have these similar colors to the fathers. However, the downside of the mule is you're never able to reproduce a mule. Like if you breed a donkey and a horse together, you get a mule, but two mules can never breed. You have to keep breeding donkeys and horses. So I mean, there's benefits to that, and there's downsides, and realistically, it's just a very slightly faster donkey. They're practically the same mob. Seriously, look at them, that's kind of how they are. So, next up here on the list, we're going to have the pig. So the Minecraft pig, we're starting against the classic OG Minecraft mobs here, right? So the pig in Minecraft, I mean, it exists, and it's a good source of meat. You kill it, you're going to get quite a few pork chops, and that's nice, but realistically, it is just a source of meat. You have them because you want meat, and that's not a bad reason. That's why, it made its way into the top 10 here, right? But I mean, it's not necessarily the most useful of the most useful Minecraft mobs. So, moving on next here, we're going to talk about the the seventh most useful Minecraft mob. It's slightly better than the pig because it is the cow. The cow is the exact same as the pig basically, except you can milk it if you want to. I mean, most people forget about that. And also you get some leather as well as the, beef when you kill it. So again, just a better version of the pig. Honestly, the pig and the cow coexisting is kind of a weird one. I feel like pigs should drop a lot more meat than they do, or maybe cows should drop less or something. I think that'd be a fair balance thing, because the cow, in my opinion, is usually just an objectively better pig. Usually because of those things. So, next up here, which, by the way, cows are technically male and female in Minecraft, even though in real life they're called bulls if they're male, but whatever. Let's talk about next, because moving on from that, we're going to have to talk about the chicken next, because the chicken, it might seem weird that the chicken is higher up than both the cow and the pig, but the truth is although it drops meat, which you can turn into chicken, which isn't great, you never really want to use it in the best situation, but they also drop feathers, and they also, just by themselves, drop eggs. I love this behavior because it gives you an incentive both to keep the chicken around. Well, I mean, one, it's kind of cute, right? But two, it'll drop eggs every now and then. So you have a benefit for keeping them around, then you have a benefit for killing them. So it's kind of like, again, 2-in-1 behavior, rather than the pig, which is like, oh yeah, kill it and get meat. This is more like, oh yeah, leave it around, get eggs, or kill it, and you immediately get, feathers, and sometimes feathers, and you get raw chicken breasts, which, by the way, don't eat it, you'll get food poisoning. Real life and Minecraft tip right there for you. But yeah, the chicken, it's actually starting to get into the real realms of, great and useful, because you've got uses in both sides of the thing. Same with the wolf, actually. The wolf is mostly used as, oh yeah, oh wait, the wolf is this one right here. As you can see, it looks similar to the sheep, which is kind of, not ironic, but kind of funny. But yeah, the wolf in Minecraft, by itself, it spawns as an interesting enough mob that, it's mostly passive, but you attack it, and they all hate you. So, wolves can be a serious issue. I've died in UHC to wolves before. It's very embarrassing. but it is a thing that can happen. But then you tame them, and then you get a dependable pet. Everyone loves wolves as a pet, right? It's like a Minecraft, not quite meme, but it's a thing everyone does where they're like, oh, I'm going to name all my dogs and dye their color. So if you want to do that, you can totally do that in Minecraft. And also, if you want to just look at the wolf, but look at him right here, isn't that cute? But basically, you can keep him around, but also they'll protect you from any hostile mobs. If you get attacked when you have a wolf as a pet, it'll actually defend you, and it means that they're kind of like a combat item. They're actually used in direct combat, which is a wonderful little thing. So yeah, really big fan of the wolf in Minecraft. I think that's kind of great, and yeah, I think it's the fifth best mob. So next up here, we have the fourth best mob in Minecraft. What do you think it's going to be? It's going to be the sheep here. So again, we're slowly running out of which ones are left here, so just show you the last few ones here. But next up, we have the sheep. Because the sheep in Minecraft, you can shear it, you get wool. Oh, okay, well, I should have predicted this would happen, shouldn't I? You can shear it, you'll get wool. You can kill it, you'll get mutton. Or you can kill it to get a little bit of wool. And also, you can keep them around, and they have a little thing going on. But however, the sheep's wool actually enables you to build in Minecraft. So the thing I love about this is it ties in farming and building together. If you're in survival Minecraft, you need to farm so you can build. If you want to make this huge bed, like I've made right here, you need to have, you know, sheep. You need to have a sheep farm if you want to make a huge bed, or you want to make a bookshelf out of wool. And that's something I really have always thought is cool about sheep. The fact that you have to, tying in multiple elements of the game together is really a great thing. Kind of like how, the chickens, they help you with combat because you get the feathers, which you need to make arrows. I love that the sheep are used in that way. So we're on the last three here. Which one's it going to be? You might be wondering, what's the best mob in the game? Well, it's sadly not the villager, although the villager is quite close actually, because the villager is the third best mob in the game, because you can trade with them and you can get great things out of them eventually. They're kind of annoying, they have inconsistent behaviors, but the truth is trading is one of the most powerful mechanics in the game. It truthfully, you know, in the same way there is like, oh yeah, you can mine, you can do combat, or you can, you know, farm, or you can build. You know, there's like 4 things you can do in Minecraft. Trading's like a whole other section of the game. That's how fleshed out it is. But again, villagers have weird, inconsistent, bizarre behaviors. But still, it's the third most useful mob in the game because it introduces a whole mechanic of its own. But what's better than introducing a whole mechanic, you might be asking? Well, that would probably have to go to the horse, because the cool thing about the horse is the fact that if we were going to give it all the golden apples, so we can tame it like instantly, then we can put a saddle on it, is the fact that the horse was the most popular mob added to the game when it was first added, because you can ride them around Minecraft. They make speed faster anywhere you want to. They encourage you to... This is weird, I'm a walrus riding a horse for some reason, but they encourage you to go out there and to, you know, go into the wild, because if you find a horse, you'll get something great out of it. You'll get the ability to ride around like this. Obviously, you need to get the saddle as well, but that's kind of fun by itself. Then you add on the fact that when you have the horse in Minecraft, obviously, it's not just like, oh yeah, you get one horse and you're done. You can actually get better horses. This horse actually, it's pretty good, like we're walking kind of fast, but horses can go way faster than this, so it's worth going out there and trying to find the best horse. It makes breeding them fun because you want to breed for genuine stats. If you breed 2 pigs together, you get another pig. If you breed 2 horses together, you get a slightly randomized, but slightly based on the parents, horse, which is, that's really fun, right? So yeah, it's always a challenge to get the best horse possible, and that's something I really love about it. But it's not the best mob in the game. What's the very best mob in the game? And I know this seems kind of weird after like, oh yeah, well, villagers introduced a whole new mechanic, and you know, like horses bring in a reason to breed. Well, a thing I really love is the mushroom, because the mushroom encourages you, it rewards you for exploration with the best mob in the game. Why is it the best mob in the game? Well, let's spawn one and then show you. So as you can see, this is a mushroom. One most adorable thing. I have a mushroom plushie just behind me actually, because again, look at them. This is just a mob everyone wants. So you get the most adorable mob in the game. Again, that's nice. I mean, it's not everything, but it's important. Then you get the ability to milk it if you want to for unlimited mushroom soup. If you can find one of these guys, you can get unlimited free food from them. So just by having the mob alive, you get free food. You can kill it and you can get leather if you want to, or so if you don't want the cutest mob that also gives you free food, you can shear it and you can make a cow outfit, and then if you want to milk it, you can do that too, or you can kill it as well. But my point being is, if you find a mushroom biome, if you find mushrooms, you are onto one of the best treats in Minecraft. And honestly, the point of today's list, you know how I said at the beginning, like, oh yeah, well, we're ranking all the Minecraft mobs by usefulness because, like, you know, Jeb doesn't want to add usefulness mobs. Let's be honest, how much did the bat, the polar bear, the parrot, the squid add to your Minecraft game? Not too much. How much does the horse alone add to your Minecraft game? So much, right? How much does the mushroom add when you find one? I don't have one in most of my survival worlds, but when you do, it's like, yeah, this is wonderful. How much do villagers add to your world? Well, the truth is, so much more. If they consider every Minecraft mob they add to the game, giving it some meaningful behavior, giving you a meaningful way to find it, giving a new block to it or a new drop to it, giving you some reason to want to find the mob, then that makes every mob exciting. And for instance, the update Aquatic, they're adding 2 brand new mobs, the dolphin, they're adding the turtle, the fact that the dolphin's going to help you find treasure, the fact that the turtle lays eggs, and I'm not sure how that ties into other stuff, but the fact that they're trying to make mobs more useful is something we should be happy with. People said, like, no, we should never get rid of stuff like the bats, and I don't think we should. I think we should make every mob more useful, because everyone should always want more useful mobs, because that's what Minecraft is all about. So I hope you did all enjoy this video, going over the top 10, top 17, I guess. Let's just say every Minecraft mob ranked. You can like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel, and let's know you do like these sorts of videos. You can share it if you really liked it, and you can subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. And yes, this video was recorded from the PlayStation, but like it doesn't really change too much, I hope. But yeah, here's a quick tour of my Minecraft PS4 world, which you can see more of if you subscribe to see these videos daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching. I'm super looking forward to the update Aquatic because of these new mobs, like I said, and I'll let you know more about that as soon as we do know. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!